Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this video of mine. Today I wish to show you my template system. As you probably know by now, I illustrate the Dragon Ball characters within Adobe Illustrator. And to do this I use a sort of template system so that I don't have to draw every character on its own again, over and over again. And other reoccurring elements like the key or the face, I can just sort of copy paste and adjust the colors or adjust the armbands or sort of the way it looks. Now today, so when I started off, I made a template, a body, and later I learned a little bit more about an enemy, and I changed the body. In fact, it changed it 3 times. So to go to the template, this is the template. This is the entire body. Now I will speak about this body and the template and about the previous versions in their own respective video in depth. What I want to do today is take this template and smack it onto Goten over here. So this is not an OC, this is Goten. I will speak about his design in his own separate video. His video I will dedicate to him, so I can hopefully focus what I want to tell and keep it short. Hopefully keep it short, because I'm absolutely terrible at keeping things short. So as you might see, Goten over here is nerd. No, he's a tier Mark 1 template. So this is the first template I made. To show you different templates, we go over here. This is an older folder of Vegeta, but I changed it so I can just use his body, because this Vegeta isn't the right height. This Vegeta is the exact same height as Goku. It was only later that I figured out how to properly scale these characters. It was a lot easier than I thought. I thought I had to adjust the space between the arms and the legs and blah, but apparently I could just shrink the body and just keep the head the same. But again, in their own respected video. So I had 3 templates, right? And it just so happens that all of them are in this particular file. Let me just turn off the clothes. English. Oh, nope, that's opening the layer. And the other. Boom. So, this is Mark 1. I fucked up the shoulders, and I guess a sort of basic understanding of how the quads worked, but not quite. And the feet are square. So the first thing I changed was sort of the lower ab, because Dragon Ball Z, if I put on the key back here, has this sort of 80s height arm waistband, you know, like this 80s cut pants. Because it was sort of started in the 80s, and the height of the pants and the arm is always around the navel, around this little spot right here. So there's the height. So the lower part of the abdominus, something else Latin, this the abs, so to speak, the lower part is always hidden. Only like Majin Buu at some point got a lower cut, showing more of this muscle, because this is one muscle. But therefore, you know, the Dragon Ball Z doesn't really tell you how this particular part looks within the style, and also because this part is sort of in the underwear area, it's really hard to find a good sort of reference to how this properly looks. So I need to do and talk, because I'm recording this all live, so to speak. So first I had this template, sort of the shoulders were messy. Then I changed the abs, and I changed the shoulders. And I changed the upper legs, and now I've changed the... Well, yeah, I spent more time on the abs, but on the other like frames. But again, other video. I fixed the shoulders a little bit, like this one line over here, because now I understand how the... these are not your shoulders, these are your deltoids. So yeah, so and I understand that this sort of wraps behind, so I sort of made a trail off instead of going to the peak right here, so just trailing back off. The forearms, this little tendon over here, which I didn't get right the first time. The hand, the hand on itself is just a little bit different, and of course I got the quads right this time. And the feet, instead of square feet, I have the asymmetry, and sort of the toes. Zoom in on the toes, got those right. Okay, so aka better body. And I want that body because I'm a perfectionist on my Gotenks over here, instead of having another like, if I make him Super Saiyan, I use the new template, and then suddenly his shoulders don't match up. Like what? No. We have none of that. The way we are going to do this is we are going to grab this body, Yes, we are. If I suddenly shut up for like 10 minutes, that's because I'm doing something and I want to sound stupid while I'm doing it, right? So what we want to do is we want to turn off the color. Let me show you what it looks like without color. That's my brother says this looks like a painting. He thinks it's really pretty. It looks funny, but because this is just, you know, I put in the color. It's shell shading. So all of this is separate layer. You see? Let me just like break it down for like these are all like separate layers. And what I did is simply I had the outline first because I used it like again I speak about it in the template video, but you know what? I leave it. I need to keep this video a little bit short. Speak with breathing. Okay. So we grab the outline, we copy paste it, we go to Go 10, and we're just gonna place it in the same layer. Or else we had to make new layers, but we're gonna delete all of this. We're gonna delete the old body, so we're not gonna use it. So we can just Control Shift V on a PC. On a Mac it's Command Shift V probably. And then we have the outline, and then we simply do the same thing with the color. It's just Command Control or C. I'm sorry, Control Control C or Command C. Like I said in one video, like in an introduction video, I told very briefly that I'm a graphic designer by trade. How the hell did I fuck that up? Okay, color. Yeah, color. What the hell are you on about? Because he refuses it to throw it in. Why do you not put it in the layer? No, you see he puts all of this above the color layer. That's odd. That's very odd. Boom. That should fix it. Yeah, that should fix it. Now these are in the same layer, but we're going to delete this because you don't want two bodies on the same layer. That's, believe me, you don't. You just want like if I go to armor, I got everything here on separate layers. So you can turn every single character off. Your layers are very important. If you're a professional, your layers are very important. Okay, we got. Oh, we do have the color. My little palette. If you can see the names in the layers, I'm Dutch, so some of them are like this. Kleding is Dutch for clothing, so just in case you were wondering. Now we have the body. To move things along, we will. So here's a trick I used, right? The body, which I will show you. It doesn't match up right now, but the body is what I call on grid. There isn't, as far as I know, an actual grid. I mean, there is a grid. Why does it like? You are grouped. You are all grouped. Why are you all grouped? Degroup. Oh, I get it. No, wait, I get it. I understand what I just did wrong. Yeah, now I understand. No. The other wasn't a layer. The other was a group. Because it's an older file. I didn't work out my work process quite fine just yet. Body, yes. Other layer. Yeah. Cut this. Put in a layer. Yes. Close this. No, okay, no, these are all just. Oh no. Oh yeah. This mess down here is just the fact that this isn't a layer. Wait. We can fix that real quick. Just to make things not messy, because I have autism. I hate mess. Messy. I'm a perfectionist with autism. Boom. This isn't important right now. This is going to go away, but this is just to keep my head from going crazy. Name your layers. Dutch. I use Dutch for this one. I use whatever. Which one is the easiest? Like the short, like because I have autism, but also dyslexia, like PDD-NOS. It's the form of autism I have. Other video, other time, you know. I'm not going to explain this right now. So this says color, but in Dutch it says kleur. And I always use the same color for my layer that has like layer for color. I use red. So if I accidentally select a color instead of an outline and it becomes red, I instantaneously recognize the fact that I selected the wrong object. You know, so it's kind of an alert. And if I'm working in color and I click on something, it becomes blue. Like blue, red, then I instantaneously know I made a mistake. So pro tip, yo. And now the only thing that's screwing up is the fact that it's above. And yeah, boom. Great. Catching my breath for a moment. I'm going too fast. I'm way too excited. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Yes. Now we have the body. We just need to move the hair. Oh yeah, that was the thing I was explaining. So template or a grid system. That was it. So as far as I know, there is no actual grid except for these. Do what I want. These little lines. So far as I know, there's no actual grid system. So what I simply do when I say grid system, I air quotes, what I use is I press shift and I use the arrow keys. Now he will jump a certain direction and then I start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, I'm sorry. 15 is Dutch. And I usually count in Dutch because that's easier for me, obviously. And you can see it doesn't quite match up. Doesn't match up. No, you see it doesn't quite match up because this is an older file, but all the newer files match up. So if I grab a piece of clothing or a face or a hairdo from any file, I just press 15 times blah blah blah, and it moves over. And usually I have the Super Saiyan version, like right next to it, right? I didn't count. I'm sorry. Okay, boom. So yeah, so usually I have the Super Saiyan version right here, or maybe one step further. And I can simply count if I move things low. So Super Saiyan, I just copy the entire thing and then move it over. But I need to copy it on different layers. So you need to copy it in phases. It's kind of tedious, but it helps to keep things organized. But I don't need to do that right now because everything will be on the same layer. So right now, I pressed no button. Okay, cool. Right now we want to lock this, so I can't select the body anymore. And then we want the clothing, yes. But we know we will face a problem when we do so. Okay, I think I have everything. Wait, just Ctrl cut it, Ctrl X. Everything is gone. It means you have everything selected. Amazing. Okay, just to check, nothing is grouped over here, right? Because that's... I understand why I did it, but okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Was it 11? Whatever. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and then I think it's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, there are a few, like, when I used to do it, I just used to grab it and put it back. And I had a few, like, detail cues. Like a sort of zoom in. Like this armband should match up with the arm, right? Of course, this lower part is probably changed. This part should match up. So I don't think it matches up quite as well as I want to. Maybe if I nudge it just a little. Maybe it's like that. This is hard to tell. Maybe I need to pull off a little trick to get it to match. But right now, so I can't see how well the foot is fitting, but I can do that very easily by changing the opacity. So now I can see through the object and I can simply tell, okay, so yes or no, you know? Like this looks like the way it's intended to. Looks, but it's probably off. Because I had to sort of drag it, right? Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to do, and this is a little bit outside of the box thinking. This is the template, right? Yes. With my template, I got other templates, but those are work in progress. I got the clothing, all outline and crap. What I'm going to do, right quick, is just grab that, because if I copy it and I go to this file and I press Shift Ctrl V, which is place on original position, it will place it on the exact position, and I can simply tell whether or not I did a good job. As you can tell, it's a little off. But by very, very slight. You see what I did? I simply deleted all of this. This little line over here is actually a mistake. But I talk about that in the template section. Okay, so does that bother me? Like a ton. Like it's very, very, very small. You know what? It doesn't bother me. Like if it's just too hard to fix and too little of a deal, just leave it. It's a different key anyway, so this will do. It fits nicely. This is sort of TN's look from the Cell Saga. Yeah, looks very, very pretty. And now all I need to do is get the hairdo on the head sculpt, and then place the character back. But I'm just going to tap it 15 times, not going to nudge it anymore. So it's on the exact same position. So this thing will move on my sort of air quote grid system back to sort of where it stood, not the exact position, because the exact position is wrong. It's not on the air quotes grid. So to get it on the grid, I just have to move it the method I just explained to you. Face. Again, the face is going to be difficult, right? Because it's not on the grid. So what you're gonna do? I'm gonna leave the nose, I think. Like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a piece on the face intact. First I need to close the clothes. Great. I'm gonna leave a piece on the face intact, and then by that piece I'm able to tell, amazing, this is amazing. Okay, whether or not I did a good job. So let's leave an easy piece. We're gonna leave the nose, but to tell which nose is the one we need, I said both. Wait, shift. Thank you. We're gonna make it a very bright color. Amazing. Okay, cool. Again, if I shut up, don't be bothered, please. This is not an this is not a talk a lot video. This is a show video. You know. If you select something and then you need to select something else, and it's sort of difficult because the little box is too close to the thing you want to select, so it does sort of, you know, this. Select the outer object first. Pro tip. I spent hours on these characters, getting them right, because this is the third character I made, like entire Dragon Ball Z stuff. Oh, it's touched the microphone. Like the entire Dragon Ball Z thing, right? I never before made or drew any Dragon Ball Z character, so I just pressed Ctrl X to cut, just to see whether or not I got the entire face. Then I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna zoom out. Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. No, wait. Yes. 16? I don't know. But it is off by a lot. Luckily, we have the nose. Okay, so you can tell that this is not, even if I press the regular arrows, so I need to grab it and drag it into position. Fascinating, truly. Why is it like slightly lower? That's bothering. Okay, but everything fits. Okay, look, even the stuff fits perfectly, right? The little shade under the chin. Where the hell did that went during the templates? No matter. We just grab that back. Can we still? Okay, cool. So it's on top. Sometimes it's below. You need to dig it up. Looks pretty awesome. Okay. Oh, we need to remove. This is magenta, not pink. Everybody who calls this pink is wrong. Just wrong. Okay, the last thing we need to do is the hairdo and the hair shade. Let's do the hair shade first. I actually stopped doing that on a lot of characters afterwards. I got lazy. But it looks pretty, so let's keep it. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we know we need to nudge it just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I have no idea what this is going to be. Okay, that's probably going to be okay, right? Because it's just a little bit extra shading. Now the hair. You man. Do I still have the original piece? Because I made a piece before this. Yes, this piece. Look at that. Looks absolutely crazy. I made it. It looked pretty, but it looked too crazy. You know, a little bit too much. A little bit too overcomplicated. So I simplified it down to this. So by now you probably get the point, right? But yeah, that's how we. Okay, by the air I can tell I haven't gotten it right quite. That is it. That is what we need. Okay, cool. So now we have both placed the character of Gotenks on the grid, and we have moved my initials, lol. I think that's good. Well, I just fix that later. It's not important. We have moved them on the grid, and we've given them the new template, but we kept all the original pieces. So to de-lock all of that, I'm gonna select all of this, delete that, delete this. This needs to be on this is on a separate layer. Just be locked. Yes. That's sort of my sign. So yeah, like all the artists have one. So if you draw, just make your sign. What's that? What that? What's that? Something I forgot to delete properly. No. There. Go away. I need to count Dutch. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 15. Yes. Boom. And that is it. That's exactly how it works. Nice and easy. So I'm sorry if the video wasn't at all that interesting, but I just wanted to sort of show you. Like, I made another video with Tarball, which I made, and I thought it was a little bit more interesting, but the armor was a little bit more complicated, so it took a little bit longer of the same stuff, so it was perhaps a little bit too long. I did it with my brother, so it was funny, but my brother has ADHD, and if you have ADHD, you sort of express yourself without warning, so to say. You know, he just says stuff. So there were a few inappropriate comments and a few inappropriate jokes, I guess. Like, not that I think of them as inappropriate, but just that I try to keep this channel, you know, a little bit. How can I express myself here? I'm not politically correct. No, it's not what I'm looking for. No, I'm trying to keep the channel neutral, like you know, what is that called? I lost my English for a moment. Give me a moment.
6.5 hours later.
Opinion. That's the word. It's sort of opinionless, you know. It's sort of like I have an opinion, but but this channel is about Dragon Ball Z, not about my opinion on things. So my opinion is that this looks amazing. That's my opinion. That's the only opinion that counts. I will do a video about Goten and about how I imagine Goten within my line of how I were to write it videos. I will talk about the design. I don't know about how many parts that video were, whether or not it's going to be one big video, but probably going to be separate parts, which I talk about sort of, because if I do an OC, if I make an original character, I'm probably going to talk about the backstory I came up with him, about his personality and whatnot, right? So I sort of need to find a sort of system, right? A sort of frequency. How, like, what videos do I make? Sort of how, you know, to hit the sweet spot. I'm all sort of new to this, and I'm just doing my thing. So yeah, that is my template. So those is how my templates work. So now I know that you know how they work. And until my next video, you see me later.